Hey guys, Josh here. Today we're having a look at some awesome GVM products. We're going to start off with their 200-watt bi-color light. They have an awesome softbox and a Fresnel attachment along with their new projection mount that also comes included with some gobos. So let me show you what you get in these kits. So GVM has been known to be more of the affordable brand when it comes down to filmmaking and photography equipment. And in the beginning, one of my first few lights were GVM lights. So I haven't used them in a while, so I'm curious to see how far they have come in terms of quality for the price. We are looking at a projection mount. Now this is gonna be really cool for gobos. This is something I think new to GVM. So really excited to test this thing out. This is all metal. And the gobos, if you don't know what gobos are, it's basically fake shadows. And I'll demo that for you in a moment. So basically what's happening here is we have these metal discs, and imprinted on these metal discs are different patterns. So the light shines through and projects different designs. And these are actually surprisingly heavy. So this is an attachment. This is a lens. Now look at the quality here. And this is heavy as well. Wow, looks really nice actually. Yeah, I did not expect this out of GVM because they were always seen as that budget brand, but there's nothing really cheap about this thing. All metal, all real glass, 36-degree projection. GVM also sent me their Fresnel attachment, which actually looks very similar to Aputure's. Packaging looks almost identical as well. Oh wow, they actually added this nice little rubber grip on it. Yeah, I mean, GVM definitely looked at what Aputure was doing and they made minor improvements, but these minor improvements, the more you use the light or attachments, the more you're gonna appreciate them. I mean, to have this rubber here is gonna avoid dealing with, one, getting burned, two, not having to wear gloves most of the time, and three, just better grip and better control over the focus of this Fresnel. Next, we're having a look at their bi-color LED light. So this light is going to be rated at 200 watts of power. This is the model number SD200B Pro. So this is their professional line of lights. Look at that. All metal construction. There's a little bit of plastic on the handle, but that's normal, seen on most filmmaking lights. But overall, a very nice design. And we have some professional plugs right here for DMX. Beautiful connection for the power cable. I'll show you the quality of the power cable in just a moment because that's very important, especially for high-powered lights. And of course, we have a control panel here with a little display. You can, of course, also download the GVM app. That's basic for lights like this. Okay, so here we have the power adapter. Have a look at that cable right there. Very nice, thick cable. Look at this connector. Really nice connector. I do wish this cable was slightly thicker, but I guess not only does it help out on cost savings, but weight as well. And we'll see if anything heats up while powering up this light. GVM also sent me one of their softboxes. I've never used a GVM made softbox, so let's see how good this thing is. Okay, it's one of the smaller softboxes, and it is a quick assemble softbox. So you just pop these things open like this. Along with that, we do get a grid and a diffuser. It does come with 2 layers of diffusion. Very, very thin, but we'll see how effective that is once we get this all ready and it just simply attaches with Velcro. So very traditional compared to other brands. Okay, and then the top layer of diffusion, also Velcro, that goes around the perimeter of the light. And the grid is responsible for directing the light so it doesn't spill out and cause light to enter areas where you don't want it to be. So we're just gonna quickly attach that. When you attach the diffusion, you need to leave a little bit of room for the Velcro on the grid. So that way it attaches nice and firmly to the softbox. And there you go. That's how you assemble your GVM softbox, and most softboxes actually. Now for a little bit of a comparison, here we have the GVM SD200B Pro, and we have the original Amaran 200X from Aperture. I just want you to have a look at the size difference. Massive size difference. Weight difference also, you get more weight out of the GVM. The Amaran has majority a plastic body. The internals are metal, aluminum, but on the GVM, we get much more metal, much more metal. So what does that do? Amaran, better for weight. GVM, better for heat dissipation. Heat, these new LED lights that they're coming out with produce a ton of heat. So you need the best heat dissipation, and metal is really good for that. Plastic, the Amaran, you're definitely gonna get more heat out of this thing. And then when we look at the overall control panel, I mean, I'm gonna turn this on for you. It's definitely different. And here's the back of both the Amaran and the GVM. Obviously, you're gonna see more features out of the GVM just by looking at the inputs and the button controls. Everything looks great, and check it out. This little sign, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it actually lights up. For those of you, it could be a plus, could be a minus. You could probably find something to cover that up with if you don't want it. Let's turn on the Amaran. Much duller display on the Amaran, much brighter, and we get a color display on the GVM. You know, minor things, but on set, it should definitely make you appreciate it more. Also, I want you to notice the yokes. Okay, we have a dual pivot joint on the GVM with locks on it, whereas on the Amaran, we have a plastic lever. Now, I do like the lever a lot, I just wish it wasn't plastic. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see what we can do with the overall controls of the light on the GVM. Very bright, I can tell. I mean, both of these lights are gonna output immense amount of light, even during the daytime, especially with the Fresnel attachment. Yeah, and a projection mount, you're gonna get a ton of focused light out of both of these LEDs. You're not gonna go wrong with either one of them, but there is definitely a better option when it comes down to features per dollar, if you look at that ratio. Both lights are very quiet, and they'll both get the job done. Now we also have color temperature variations. On the GVM, 2700 all the way to 6800. On the Aperture, 6500 all the way to 2700 and vice versa. Overall controls on the GVM, as I mentioned earlier, are much better than on the Aperture. As you can see, right on here, you can adjust the dimming curve, and of course you can adjust the wireless settings to connect to the app and so forth. Very similar to that on the Aperture, but it only has a Bluetooth reset button, which is what you need to press if you're connecting to new devices. Now, one thing about the GVM where I wish they improved is the buttons are kind of loose. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is kind of noisy. I wish they were a little bit more snug, or perhaps even rubber buttons. But I'm just nitpicking here. And if we're having a look at the actual COBs, or the chip on boards, very similar size, but you can see that the glass is frosted on the GVM light, whereas on the Aperture, it's more clear. Now, my prediction is that the frosted glass will avoid or actually minimize the LED pattern on a wall or some sort of surface, where in the aperture it might slightly be noticeable. But I've used this light for so many years already, and I've never had an issue with seeing an LED pattern on anything that has been projected on. But I do like that added touch there on this light. So I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping these lights with GVM's accessories. Now, I only have one GVM light, so just as I earlier showed you in this video, we're comparing everything to the Amaran 200X, but I am going to be adding the GVM projection mount to the 200X, and we're gonna put different accessories on the SD200B Pro as well, and just seeing how everything works together. So I'm going to install the projection mount onto the light stand first, and then put the light source on the back using the Bones mount adapter. And just like bigger lenses on cameras, you will mount the lens to the tripod and the camera will just simply clip onto the back, just like it is right here. Really important that when you install the front end of this lens, that you also install the security screw right here at the bottom. It will just simply twist right on. That way it won't slide completely out and break all the expensive glass inside. This right here is the gobo holder. We're gonna insert our gobo disc in here and then put it into the projection mount. Many different styles to choose from. Now I do recommend using gloves when you're handling these, especially when you've been shooting for a couple of hours, because these are gonna get so hot that they can burn you. So definitely wear gaffing gloves whenever you're working with gobo effects. And now I'm gonna put it in the projection mount. Now the projection mount offers some really unique features. One, of course, you can put in a silver metal disc for the gobo effect, but on top of that, you can use these internal metal blades or shutters that will help you control and shape the design even further. So here we go. We got a little preview of what the gobos can look like, and we have that attachment to the projection mount, which controls the overall focus. So with GVM's light, softbox, and their projection mount, which is mainly what I use to film this little demo interview, I think the overall results came out really nice. And yes, I had to add a little bit of haze in there to give that soft, glowy feel. I mean, I really like the results here. You can see what the gobo looks like in the back. You can see the softness coming off of the softbox. I wish I had a hair and makeup person to take care of the gloss on the face, but aside from that, these GVM products did an awesome job. So if you liked what you saw, please give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and to learn more about GVM's awesome lighting gear, check out the link down below. Thanks so much for watching.